Hey, everybody, this is the Utah Outcasts. We are a very much uncensored and unabashedly atheist show coming at you from the great and spacious state of Utah via podcast and YouTube. We exist to bring you news you missed, have some fun with real audio, and a lot more each week. For each topic we bring up, whether it be funny, rage-inducing, or just something we think you should hear, we try our best to bring it to you from a skeptical viewpoint with our added layers of innuendo. Well, as much as this church-ran legislature will let us get away with. I'm your always faithful host, X, and this is episode number fucking 80. And it's our very first episode of the new calendar year 2017. Sorry for the clip show last week, guys, but we survived. Everybody's alive. Kyle and Jeff are alive. They are alive. They're just not here tonight. One party too hardy, and the other one is sick as balls because I don't know if you've looked outside if you live here in Utah, but we're in the middle of a fucking giant smog bowl right now.
Oh my God. Speaking of which, did you see Todd Weiler? His tweet was like, Utah has the best air it's had since 1959. I could not verify this anywhere.
And he's the same guy that came out with planned legislation this week to...
I'm working on an email.
To attack the adult movie industry or something like that.
He wants to open it up so that people
can sue.
They can sue pornographers. Oh, by the way, his bill does not define pornography. He likes to say it's the same one that the Supreme Court justice said way back in the day.
I know it when I'll see it.
Yep, you know it when you see it. And it's like, dude, I have posed nude. You can go see my nude pictures on certain websites. And yeah, it's art. But I mean, most people wouldn't categorize it as porn, but I also did a nude calendar or sexy calendar. And like my sexual-esque pictures are out there.
Yep, porno.
So am I going to be sued?
I know, right?
Can somebody sue me?
Someone's going to see like 1 inch of shaft on someone's Facebook profile, and they're going to be like, I'm going to sue. Because that just turns them on too much. Okay. So before we get started with the real meat of this episode, let's take a minute or two to meet our panelist for the evening, not panelists, and find out what they've been up to. Yeah. So with us this evening, we have Felicia and X. I'm saying us like I'm us. Fuck, that gets weird sometimes.
That's us, our listeners. They're with us.
Yeah, how are you doing tonight, Felicia? What's new with you?
So much is new with me. I got a really good job that I can't get over. Longtime listeners of the show will know that I have had money troubles in the past just by not making enough.
Yeah, the struggle has been real.
Yeah, and it's oh my God, I am making more. I am making my disposable income for this year before bonuses will be more than my entire gross income of 2015. So I am ecstatic.
That's kind of sad too, because a cheesemonger is a very important member of society. I think we're going to see a lot less of them coming up in the next 4 years, because
if they don't increase the wage for them, because I mean it's not an integral one, but I think it is such a special thing.
Damn it!
I think so. I mean it's not.
It's like a sommelier. You need them. You need them to help you.
Yeah, it's not a necessity, but God damn it! I mean, these are foods that have been made for thousands of years. Some of them, and some of them are new. And you need somebody who's going to take care of these things to sell them, because the people who make them, this is their life. These people
everything.
Yeah, this is everything. And if people who aren't experts and don't love what they're selling and don't take care of it properly, then there are going to be people who lose everything. And besides, I mean, doesn't the world need just a little bit more joy and fun in the world? And fine cheeses are great.
Yeah, they will wipe away a lot of the sorrow that you might be feeling because of something the orange-headed fucking president has said,
In these dark times, we need cheese.
I need cheese and I need booze. I'm hunkering down. I showed Felicia during the patron part there that I bought a 2-liter bottle of vodka from Costco. Well,
I put Parmigiano Reggiano rind in my chicken noodle soup tonight.
Oh yeah. I got a friend that still monks cheese up in Oregon, and they
pay him better there.
Well, they don't make enough to live happily, but it's fun to watch their videos and how they're cracking open the wheel of Parmigiano Reggiano, just the joy you see on their face, and it's like,
it was always one of my favorite things. I love that.
So anyway, community stuff. Yeah. Let's get into that. If you're new to the show, welcome. You can of course find us on a whole lot of social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter. I'm starting to get Twitter. I love Twitter because I'm talking some hardcore shit to like Brian Fisher and Ken Ham. I fucking love laying it on those guys.
It's great. It's great.
And on Instagram, I'm bad at doing that because I don't really ever post any pictures of us in the show or anything. I just post like memes and stuff, and it's all well and good to get like notice out there for the new episodes and everything, but I'm not a photographer when it comes to this kind of thing. I'm not going to take a picture of a flower and be like, "Hail Satan!" I'm not going to do. That's actually pretty funny. I might do that.
That you actually should do that. I was just like, why not do that? That's a great idea.
So this show is brought to you courtesy of our fans who support us each week via Patreon. So I feel like we need to take a few moments to thank them for doing so. I owe the highest praise to Dan Ellis, Luis Cruz, Jeff Linville, and a extra helping of praise to Danny Lopez. Thanks to all of you for your help. If you want to shout out, but you don't have the budget to do so, we'd love a quick review or subscribe on whatever app you catch us on, because every little bit helps, and we'd give you a shout out for it. Just like how we're doing right now as I go over followers on Twitter and YouTube. On Twitter, we've had some new followers. We have 4am Warriors, Fine Young Manima, that's a funny name, Sarah Levin, Seed Strategy Incorporated, The Thinker, Chris with a K, and Jenny Frentz. I think I had a couple more, but I'm too lazy to go check them out right now. And on YouTube, we've had a new subscriber this week. 1. Come on, people. I know you could do better than that. I kid. But thanks to Mike Bowman.
This is why everyone is sick.
Yeah. We do appreciate it.
Stealing a joke from another podcast.
Well, I think that's about it. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our first segment of the week. The first one that we have up for you guys this week, we have, courtesy of Patheos.com, the friendly atheist blog, wants to talk about Ken Ham's Noah's Ark theme park and how it has not led to an economic boom in the Grant County in Kentucky.
What? So, I'm shocked.
Yeah, Ken Ham
most
and
Christians don't even believe in the young Earth creationism. For fuck's sake, like why would it? No. Just no.
Well, and as I'm going back and listening to our good friend of the show, Tucker Drake's podcast, like some of his back catalog that he did, it's painfully apparent that like the whole, I mean, if you didn't know it before, the Noah's Ark thing was stolen from Babylonian myth, which predates like when they decided to talk about it by like at least 1,000, 2,000 years. It's amazing how much stealing that Christianity has done.
Well, stealing might be the wrong word. It's
borrowing.
It's just an evolution of beliefs.
Well, yeah, because it went from Judaism to Christianity. So
yeah, they just like it was Christianity was born out of the same region as so many other religions, and they just like borrowed from each. They were just cultures sharing stories and these kinds of ideas over and over and over again. And so they like it's like how you find Norse gods and Celtic mythology, and you find Celtic mythology and ancient Germanic stuff. Like it's kind of like that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of cross fucking between religions going on there. So anyway, Ken Ham and his merry band of creationists asked Grant County, Kentucky, to let them build the Ark Encounter in the city of Williamstown. And they made their case in large part by saying that it would create jobs for people in the community and help surrounding businesses. So.
Oh, but that jobs part was a little bit sticky too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a lot of fuckery going on there. Look at Dan Arrow stuff if you want to read about that. So now that we know that the jobs are limited only to other Christians who share Ken Ham's beliefs that gay people shouldn't be allowed to get married and that the earth is approximately 6,000 years old. It turns out the Ark hasn't done anything for the businesses around them either. So,
that giant fucking boat in the middle of Kentucky?
Yeah. So a reporter by the name of Scott Wortman for the Cincinnati Enquirer looked at what's happening since last December, ever since Grant County voted to allow alcohol sales in the area, because apparently I think it was a dry county at the time. So not at just chain restaurants, but hoping to draw in the kinds of hotels and bars that you see in other areas. He found that
dry counties actually have more DUIs too.
Yeah. The economic boom hasn't happened yet. So, and this is from his article, Grant County still has the same small number of non-chain restaurants and hotels it did last December. a year, and there's not been any growth at all. That's when residents decided to go from a moist county with mostly limited alcohol sales to a wet county for alcohol sales. Now that bars are allowed, there haven't been any takers. And so one of the...
That's surprising.
Yeah, so one of the guys says, I'm shocked I'll be honest with you. We're told the vote in favor of alcohol sales would bring restaurants, particularly with the Ark, and it hasn't. And you want to give one guess why that is? Who are the people that are coming to visit the Ark?
The people who don't drink alcohol.
Exactly. The teetotaling Ned Flanders type people.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that the people who are younger creationists are also boozers.
It'd be awesome to open like a
funny side note,
a hardcore atheist bar in the area. That'd be funny as shit.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, just funny little anecdote real quick. Blueberries, but it's kind of funny. So we're doing Christmas Eve with some extended family and stuff. Yeah. And I didn't know these people because it's through William's side, but not his family. It's confusing. Anyway, so it's Donnie's family, basically. So we were over there, and one person, I think he is from Kentucky, goes, somebody answer me this. If evolution's real, how come things aren't evolving? And the whole room, again, I don't know these people that well, but the whole room goes, oh, they are. Elephants and geckos and tigers and lions and humans. And humans. And it's like, oh yeah, and just not that long ago, humans this. Oh, and did you know we have Neanderthal DNA? And like 10 different current evolution examples just pile on this guy.
You just want to be like, you stupid motherfucker.
And it's like this guy wasn't a Christian either. Like, just didn't know.
Don't defend him. Don't defend him. No, he deserved everything that he got there. So it's amazing to me that people visiting the Ark Encounter right now, business owners don't want to see it as a long-term success and don't want to invest in the surrounded areas as a result. So the Ark Encounter's existence has raised property values in the surrounding areas. It's pushed away potential businesses. So whatever the reason is, it seems fair that the Grant County leaders doubled down on the idea that the Ark Encounter would create tremendous economic benefit for everyone in the area, and that hasn't happened yet. And there are no signs that that's going to change in the future. They gambled and lost, and they were duped by the creationists who promised them the world. Thanks, Hemet, for the wonderful line there.
What they need is obviously more education.
Yeah,
like, I mean, they need to be educating people in skilled labor or tech, basically.
Yeah.
Or maybe if they were in
more steam,
Texas.
People, more steam.
Yeah, Texas, if they were in Texas where they have NASA and they were doing science stuff and they could invest in people to do scientific research in low cost areas, that would bring high value jobs to the areas. But
there's so many Department of Defense, so much DOD money going into Texas. It's crazy how much money goes into there.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many options available.
But no, instead, let's build a boat.
But no, they picked the one. They built a giant boat that's not even a full boat. Not even a full boat in the middle of fucking Kentucky. If there was a worldwide flood and Kentucky ended up underwater, that thing wouldn't fucking float. That's
they don't realize how big a mountains have to be surmounted before the water would reach inland at that point. Kentucky's pretty goddamn safe.
Where did all go?
Coming from the east, it would be from the Appalachians. Coming from the west, it'd be the Rockies. And so there's so much shit that's protecting them. And
beautiful.
It's a beautiful, I do feel really bad for religion, but
fuck Ken Ham. Fuck him, and I hope that his fucking church goes bankrupt because of this piece of shit.
There's a Twitter account that I've been following.
I do feel bad for the people in that area who have been duped.
Yeah. Because they bought it hook, line, and sinker $100 and something million worth of taxpayer money.
Well, these are people who are probably believers, a lot of them, and I mean their whole lives they've been duped, and the system is destroying their area.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not liberals ignoring rural problems. Religion is ruining your areas, guys, because you refuse to move forward with the future.
Exactly. So Hemmett's parting shot here is for the sake of the people in the community, I hope that changes. But if they're relying on the success of the Ark Encounter for that to happen, they may be out of luck. So, great fucking article from him, especially letting us know.
I kind of want to go now.
I do. I do want to see it before it shuts down. I'm trying to convince of a plan to come up with, like, going to Reason Con or something like that, and doing a road trip to get there and going to these places.
Because at this point they're hemorrhaging money. Us giving them money to go is not going to be it. All the atheists in the United States could go, and it wouldn't be enough to save it.
Oh, but it's expensive from what I understand. It's like it's like $50 to get in. It's like more expensive than having a whole day at Lagoon here in Utah.
I would not take a child there, though.
Nope.
Like, no.
I would take some of those like 360 cameras with me just so I could like VR experience the whole fucking like kids area that they have there, because from what I understand, it's fucking disgusting what they're trying to brainwash kids into.
Right.
Ugh,
yeah.
Just grosses me out to the fucking core. Don't brainwash your kids. This one comes to us via Patheos again from the Danthropology blog, who also wants to talk to us about the new Ark Encounter. Apparently Ken Ham, since he is hemorrhaging so much goddamn money with this fucking Ark that he has, he's breaking the law once again, according to Dan Arrow, because the new Ark Encounter ad asks visitors to think bigger and donate $3.5 million illegally. So the new campaign, the Ark Encounter is touting the size of their structure and encouraging new visitors to the struggling park. Part of the campaign, however, is a massive donation ask for the company as they seek $3.5 million for critical expansions that are needed to accommodate the forecast of record visitors at the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum next year. The problem is the Ark Encounter is a for-profit business, and Answers in Genesis cannot accept the tax-deductible donations that are used for the park. As I've come to understand it, when you go to the gate that leads you into the park is the Answers in Genesis, but it's the Ark Encounter business. That's where they make the money. And so once you get through the gate and they put you on the bus and take you to the Ark, that's when it becomes the Answers in Genesis, like church kind of thing. That's where they can make their tax-free money, but they can't do it at the gate of the place. And so they have it separated.
That makes sense.
That. Yeah, which is
but a business could accept donations.
But the for-profit business can't give the tax-deductible donations to Answers in Genesis.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be tax-deductible. So I used to run a for-profit charitable endeavor. It wasn't legally allowed.
It's the other way around. It's the nonprofit donating to the for-profit business.
Oh.
So as Dan puts it in this article here, he said, this is like UPS forming a nonprofit to help feed children and then using the donations to buy new delivery trucks. So that's a good way of putting it there. So the FFRF has asked the IRS to investigate the park. Not shocking. And has called out the illegal practice.
That'd be nice.
So far, nothing yet has come of the letter. So with no action from the IRS, Ham has no reason to stop the illegal practice. So he's reached out to Americans United and FFRF about the new ad campaign, and hopefully something happens from it, because that's shady as shit.
It is.
But he's going to get away with it because we let churches fucking run roughshod over the IRS laws in this country.
Oh, yeah, we do. We really do. I mean, they are like, part of the agreement is that they're not supposed to preach from the pulpit, and they absolutely do. And
isn't that the one day that they like send their videos and shit like that? Look at me preaching from the pulpit. They send videos to the IRS like, come tax me, and they never do.
No, they don't. And I mean, I used to be somebody who was not sure about taxing churches just because I wanted that protection of churches not getting involved in politics. I don't even care now. Like, even if they weren't involved in politics, tax the fucking churches. Like, no, even if they were keeping up that side of the bargain, there's no good reason why churches, private organizations that are claiming charity, should be as tax exempt as they are.
Yeah,
I'm fine with certain charities, like there being certain rules and stuff like that, but like the way churches are done is insane.
Yeah. It's like how
tax the fucking churches.
We support the fuck out of the Clinton Foundation, and they have a really good fucking rating, compared to a lot of the other nonprofits out there. Oh, but if you bring that up in polite conversation nowadays, you're some sort of fucking like pariah.
I don't even understand it.
No.
Like, I don't even understand how the Clinton Foundation was a controversy. They're like, there was a potential conflict of interest. And it's like, yeah, but did that actually end up happening? No. But it could have.
Pay for play thing that they're trying to say that they were soliciting favors from Saudi Arabia and shit for taking the money. Like, nah.
You know who's pay for play? You know who's pay for fucking play? Governor
Trump.
Herbert.
Oh, yeah, Herbert's too.
Donald Trump. But also, Utah's governor. Yeah, no. He gives special favors to people who donate to his campaign. Oh, and if organizations don't donate to his campaign, he
cold shoulder.
fucking blackballs them. It's it's nasty. Oh, it's nasty.
Herbie's fucking corrupt as about as corrupt as you can get as a governor. Fucking hate the man. I hate him so bad.
God, I hate him.
So, Felicia, did you know that Utah is edging closer and closer to the abyss? I have a headline here that also comes from Patheos, from Friendly Atheist, but I also did receive this in my Twitter from what's the secular, what is it? I can't remember the name of the group, goddammit, but in Utah, it's kind of exciting for us atheists here. The state's Democratic Party has approved the creation of a secular caucus.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So meaning they're going to take into account atheist ideas when drafting platform measures and advising candidates. So we have a fucking voice in this state now,
that's amazing.
And I'm going to be working with whoever the chairperson is for this in the state and try to get them on the show, talk with them about this stuff. Yeah, we do use curse words and we say naughty things sometimes, but we are also very vehemently political. So
you know what? I would really love to get involved with the secular caucus. That would be amazing.
Yep. So they are going to have a procedural vote this February. And the quote coming from them says, the idea of creating a secular caucus has generated a lot of excitement and enthusiasm amongst Democrats and independents in Utah, said the caucus co-founder Daisy Thomas. I think I added her on Twitter. We are receiving dozens of messages of interest and positive feedback thanking us for bringing the voice to the table. Gee, I wonder why. It's because we live in a fucking theocracy.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea. Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
We want
I'd love to get involved with that.
Of all beliefs, including non-religious Utahns, to have the same opportunity to shape politics in our state, and we believe a clear separation between church and state protects all of our freedoms. It does. Thank you.
It does. No, clear separation of church and state is good for everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone.
You know, I know a lot of people keep bringing up the whole Zion curtain and the privatizing liquor and stuff like that. Like that's important to me short term, but long term, that's not really a big deal to me. You know, not even the medical marijuana thing. I would like for that to be a thing here, but it's not something I'm going to angle for really hard. What I really want them to do.
Actually, no, medical marijuana is going to be I mean, I cared a lot because I've known people who have been suffering and have had to face very serious legal consequences because of their medicine.
I can't believe we
you can now
up for a plant.
You can add me now ridiculous. To people who need it for medicine. So
we're never.
It helps a lot with pain. It helps a lot.
We're going to have to actually, I think, in the short term. I'm talking 5-10 years at the most. Then yes, that is short term by most people's standards, 5 to 10 years. Because we are now flanked on both sides of this state by pot-friendly states. So unless Utah wants to have like a huge fucking mungus gigantic prison population, they're going to have to start changing laws around. Though I did talk to a listener of the show. I'm going to make them remain nameless, but they are a law enforcement officer, and this is not legal advice, so do not take legal advice from podcasts.
Ever.
But he let me know that if coming in the year when Wendover finally becomes a destination for pot to be picked up and brought back to Utah, you can carry as much as close to a pound as you can get without it being a felony.
Yeah. You want to know why that is? It's technically a felony, but the feds aren't going to follow up on it because they don't give a shit.
No,
it's not. It's small.
He says it's a class C, and you get a ticket.
Yeah. No, the feds don't give a shit. If it's less than a pound, they don't give a shit.
Yep. So
going over state lines.
As long as you're like straight up with the cops about the shit, don't try hiding it and shit like that. I mean, if you get busted, but
don't take legal advice from a podcast.
Yeah, definitely don't ever take my advice because I fucking roll over for cops. I've had a gun pulled on me twice by cops, and so I'm like, okay, yes sir, I'll piss my pants in front of a cop. Scary as shit.
I have not had that. I just get the, hey there, little lady. Burr, burr, burr. Yeah, just,
Be like, let me show you my boobs. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God, if that
gets you out of a ticket, yeah.
If it pretty much almost anywhere else, I think that might actually work. But here, you never know which ones are Mormon.
No, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
flash them some garment. This one comes to us from Raw Story. An ex-GOP lawmaker says Trump needn't rely on. Yeah, I used needn't when I was speaking here. Needn't rely on U.S. intelligence services. He can get info from foreign governments.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. So appearing on CNN, a former head of the House Intelligence Committee, let me read that again. A former head of the House Intelligence Committee said that President-elect Donald Trump should feel free to use intelligence information given to him from foreign governments in lieu of what his own intelligence agencies will be providing him.
Just
that first paragraph is just so fucking wrong. It is wrong. No.
Just, I mean, foreign government agencies are going to feed you only the information that they want you to have. Yes. It's so stupid right on the front of it.
So this guy's name is Pete Hextra he's a Republican from Michigan. He flabbergasted Jim Ciuto by saying that U.S. intelligence agencies can provide biased information. Your own intelligence agencies
biased in favor of the United States.
Yeah, before asserting that Trump could also rely on information provided from foreign intelligence agencies, noting that Trump is still disputing evidence provided by all 17. All of them. Literally a consensus. You don't get that very often. Of all the U.S. agencies that shows that the Russians hacked the 2016 election. And Hextra said that Trump is sending a U.S. intelligence a message. I think that what Donald Trump is doing is Donald Trump is putting... Why do you have to say his full name every time you fucking reference him? Is that like a bylaw for like sucking his dick? You have to say his name fully? You have to be like, oh, hey, well, yeah, whenever I go talk to Donald Trump lets me know that he likes his balls fondled before I let Donald Trump's dick go into my mouth. It's just, ugh. He's putting the intelligence community on notice that he expects them to deliver quality information in an unbiased format so he will be equipped to make the best decision possible as commander-in-chief. Sending that signal to the intelligence community.
What the fuck shit does the intelligence community...
What do they exist for?
No, okay, here's what they're trying to do is they're trying to sell the American people, especially the ones who refuse to actually think anything through. What they're trying to do is they're trying to just sell them the idea that like the media has a liberal bias.
So does the intelligence community. So too
does the... Yeah. Oh, yeah, because, they're known for being a bunch of hippie fucking liberals, right? Goddamn tree huggers, the intelligence community, for sure.
He is
Evan McMullen.
He is discounting... Yeah, Evan McMullen had some words to say about him this week about this shit. He's like, this is dangerous.
He was intelligence community, and he is a conservative.
Yeah.
He's a conservative who acknowledges that humans have caused global climate change. Thank you very fucking much.
Yeah.
But he's still a conservative.
So Ciuto said that how will he judge when it's quality intelligence? What will be his basis of deciding that? And so what this guy responded back, Hextra, said that I think one of the things he'll do is go out and get information from a number of different sources. He's like outside the intelligence community. What? The CNN guy said
ISIS from Archer. Is that what they're talking about?
Lana, you gotta listen.
Danger Zone.
Fuck, I love that show. I fucking love cocaine. Pam Poovey just eating cocaine that whole season when they had the coke to sell. Oh, God damn it, I love that show.
Oh, I love Pam so much.
She puts her face, it's like eating cupcakes with cocaine on top of them.
I know.
Oh man. Okay, so
no, but like is that your unbiased fucking source? Like what? What
Makes
the
no
shit
sense.
fuck? Like, oh god.
one of the things that I've found since I've left the intelligence community is that Congress and left Congress is the number of other places you can go and get very good information. Are you talking
Like
about
the internet.
Breitbart. Oh, and I went to that site the other day just to see how bad it was, and
Oh god.
I dry heaved looking at it because, first of all, in a web design sense, don't have your whole fucking website, like half of it be a website and then the other full half of it be advertisements the whole time you're scrolling through. Ugh, it's fucking gross. It's like, when is this country really going to go ahead and just jump straight into Idiocracy with like Ow My Balls, the movie and stuff like that? When are we going to get Ass, the movie, I wonder? Fucking country, I swear. So anyway, he
says, is it going to be everyone who... wait, I'm just asking. Yeah. Ass the movie. Is it going to be all the asses from Spartacus plus Jason Momoa? Because I'm going to watch that.
I'd even look at Jason Momoa ass. That's a good looking man. Oh,
God. He's so gorgeous. Anywho, I'm just saying, ass the movie. No.
He's probably got to work really fucking hard to be that way too, man. I give him so much credit.
He probably does work very, very hard, but he is obviously genetically gifted.
Oh yeah, like, no doubt about that.
That dude is just already a massive, gorgeous, piling ripple.
As one of those guys that actually watched the first season of Game of Thrones many times. For various reasons.
For various, science.
Fuck that show. Oh, it's gonna be, I can't believe we're gonna have to wait longer than April for that to come back. Well, we blueberried ourselves like 3 times this fucking thing. Okay, so
yeah, we
he
didn't
says,
really want to talk about Trump,
so you're saying that the president of the United States should take the intelligence assessments of another country's intelligence agencies over his own? No, I didn't say that at all. That's precisely what you fucking said.
See, that's what they do. That's what they fucking do. They say a thing, and then they're like, nope.
No, you're straw manning me. You're straw manning.
Strawberries are blue. Are you saying strawberries are blue?
That's not what I said. I did not say that.
That's not what I said. Strawberries are definitely the same color as the sky. Are you saying strawberries are blue? No, not what I said.
So whenever
colors the sky.
When anybody asks me, like, if you could go back in time and like strangle anybody in history, I pretty much bring up Newt Gingrich because he's the one that made it popularized in the GOP for this shit to be happening.
Oh, he did. It's his fault.
I hate that man so goddamn much.
Fucking cheating motherfucker.
Oh, but he's a moral bastion. He says, what I'm saying is that he has other places he can get intelligence from that he can use to test the quality and the accuracy of the information he's getting from his own intelligence committee or community.
That's why we have several intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
Who answer to different people, to different branches of government.
No, but that's okay. No, totally not in Russia's pocket. Not at all. Nope. The GOP doesn't want you to know. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Don't look over there. Don't look over there. Just in case people were ever wondering what our stance was on the Catholic Church and their PR Pope, we've got the story that came out of The Independent. Pope Francis was told about alleged child rapists 2 years before the person's arrest.
Oh, wow.
And prosecutors in the case are expecting more people to come forward with allegations of abuse because, it's amazing when one person finally decides to stand up against these people, other people come out of the woodwork, just like they did against Trump. Hey, how about that? Oh, it's just convenient this happened right now. No, it's not convenient at all.
This is my shocked voice.
Yeah. So Pope Francis was told as early as 2014 that a Catholic priest accused of sexually abusing children in Italy had been reassigned to a school in Argentina.
That's gross.
One of those non-extradition countries that you got right there, where he has since been arrested on suspicion of child rape while he was there. So the Reverend Nicola Corradi, who is 80, not karate like Karate, but Corradi. So he's 82. He was arrested. So he's had a long life of child fucking. Was arrested in November alongside 4 other men following allegations of abuse at the Antonio Provolo Institute for Hearing Impaired Children.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's not
Holy
only fucking kids,
fuckball.
he's fucking like some of the most
vulnerable.
Vulnerable. That's the word. Man. Let me fix your ears there, Billy.
Yeah. No. Oh God. I have so much.
Did you know that priest semen can hear your ears?
Like, okay. The people seem to not care about the child raping thing, though. Catholics seem not to care. They just ignore it.
I don't know why they don't get this thing. I don't know why.
Because I don't know. Their cognitive dissonance is too strong. So what I want to start pointing people to is how and Pope Francis,
Fluffy. Pope Fluffy.
Yeah, Pope Fluffy.
We'll use Godless Revolutions.
Okay, yeah, Pope Fluffy has been. He has not done anything to stem the horrific abuses of Catholic hospitals against women.
Nope.
He sits there and talks about women are special or whatever, and blah, 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 like lip service, pandering without actually doing anything. Meanwhile, Catholic hospitals are letting women die. Up there, they're making that decision.
Yeah.
That is built into their code of ethics, is that if a woman has a bad pregnancy, including ectopic, which there is no way to save that fetus, nothing you can do. Their actual policy is, yep, some women are going to die. That's how
gross.
fucking anti-abortion they are. No.
That's like the Catholic-run hospitals. I fucking hate them so goddamn bad.
Fuck Catholic-run hospitals.
Yeah.
Oh, they're disgusting. And everyone sits here and likes to say that Pope Francis is the cool pope, the nice pope, the PR pope.
Oh, did you see the newest article going around about Mark Zuckerberg? I don't know if you saw this yet, where he's like, I'm no longer an atheist, apparently, according to the article. And it's a whole bunch of nothing made out of something, where the person writing the story is like, oh, well, he was caught taking a photo with his wife praying at a Buddha statue when they were visiting somewhere. And then, he met with the Pope and stuff like that. And it's just one of those cases of an atheist not wanting to call themselves an atheist,
Oh.
Where
okay.
I always, I will out people when not saying like, I'm going to come on the website or anything like that, be like, this person's an atheist. But if we have them on the show and they have a teetering belief system where they're like, or like we had with the episode before the clip show that we had last week, where we had Caitlin Booth from Bleeding Cool and Watch Play Read on here, and I was like, so let me ask you, are you an atheist? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, here's the question: do you have an active belief in a God? No. Okay, then you're an atheist.
That's it.
That's it.
You are without theism. That is it.
So anyway, this Reverend, sorry to get back to the topic here when we were talking about Mark Zuckerberg. God damn it. Reverend Karate was arrested. And police reportedly found $34,000, which in Argentina is like $3 trillion, I would think, along with magazines featuring naked women in his room. I don't see the problem with that one, but 2 dozen students. Yeah.
Oh, wait, but those
were adult women.
Naked women implies adult. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was named in a scandal that hit the Institute's Verona school in 2009 when 67 students alleged that they had been abused.
Holy
And
fuck.
The diocese apologized to the students there, and the Vatican sanctioned 4 of the priests, though not the Reverend Karate. In 2014, the students sent the Pope a letter, acknowledged only this year, again, naming him as an abuser living in Argentina. So,
holy shit, the students sent the letter?
Yes,
the
the Pope.
The motherfucking... This was so well known amongst the students that they got together and sent a letter and still nobody did anything for 2 goddamn years?
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with this goddamn church? It is so fucking disgusting.
Yep.
It's appalling.
Yep.
Holy shit.
It says here that the person told the AP one of the abused said, they always said it was a game. Let's go play. Let's go play. And then they would take us to the girls' bathroom.
Oh my God, I'm going to be sick.
I know, right? So the Pope told the U.S. victims of clerical abuse last year that all responsible will be held accountable and called for a strong... Yeah, in the afterlife. That's what he means by that, I'm sure. Yeah. So the Pope told... where I heard that one. He called for stronger oversight to ensure that the youth are protected. Let me guess. Church oversight? Yeah, that's really going to fucking work. You guys do such a good job.
It's been working.
We've seen how well policing the police work in this country. Just imagine if you're a bunch of fucking child fucking priests. So
the church has never policed itself. Not ever, goddamn ever.
So newly appointed bishops will receive comprehensive training on how not to fuck kids. that says a lot of other flowery language, but that's what it says to me. Oh man, this is fucking insane. I can't believe that this church is still standing with people supporting it. How are people propping this up? I don't get it.
And I understand there are people who claim that the celibacy ruling is what causes this. I don't fucking think so.
No.
I don't think so.
It's a culture.
It's a culture. It's a culture of domination and abuse. That's what this is. And yes, it gets channeled into violent sexual aggression against children. And that's disgusting. But if this culture, if these priests were suddenly allowed to get married, I don't think this would fucking change, because it's about dominance and abuse, because that's what the Catholic Church has thrived on for centuries.
And
2,000 fucking years.
To remind people here why this is such a big fucking thing, you forget sometimes that, the Pope that lives in Italy, or I'm sorry, Vatican City in the Vatican, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
It's in Italy.
It's in Italy, but it's its own country, I believe. So,
city-state.
So, the Pope,
country thing,
is actually Pope Francis is from Argentina.
I was going to say that.
So this is doubly so terrible that he allowed this to happen to his own countrymen. Never mind the fact that
he seems not to give a fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't give two shits about this. He's the Pope. He doesn't have to worry about any of this shit. Pope Francis, who is from Argentina, has not spoken publicly about the case, and the Vatican declined to comment on the arrests of the AP.
Oh wow. Yeah, but they're they're gonna police themselves.
So, anytime I see a prominent Catholic, like a cardinal or bishop or somebody like that, appear on TV talking about something, they immediately get the middle finger out of me. Probably could be a really nice person, but the thing is, you're propping up a terrible fucking organization.
Yeah, no.
It's like anybody I find out is a bishop that I might know nearby or something like that. I immediately start to get oogie feelings around them and try to get away from them because it's fucking gross.
Yeah, no, it's so abhorrent to me that you're run-of-the-mill Catholic.
Yeah. Especially
your Christmas and Easter Catholics.
Your Archie Bunker Catholic.
Yeah, I just I don't care. Whatever.
No.
I don't care.
The hardcores though.
Yeah. Your fucking priests and your hardcore Catholics and stuff. I'm just I can't right now, because you are giving money to this institution.
You are actually propping it up. You are enabling this shit to happen.
Imagine if Planned Parenthood was found to have a systemic problem of their practitioners raping their patients. Imagine, would you keep and it never changed, and it just kept happening.
I think places would start to defund them. Oh wait.
Oh wait. No, they're actually helping people. Okay, let's talk about the goddamn Clinton Foundation. Oh, let's talk about the Peace Corps. What about the Peace Corps? And Peace Corps missionaries in other countries, because you guys, there's a problem. There's a problem with missionaries raping women and children in foreign countries. That's an actual thing.
Gross.
Yeah. And no, people would you still support the Peace Corps if you knew that there was a systemic problem and they kept getting moved around and hidden? Would you even want to talk about that organization? Even if there were good people in it, you'd be like, no, it's a fucked up organization. I don't even understand how you're a part of this. Oh, no, the Catholic Church gets a fucking pass, and Pope Fluffy gets to just not say a goddamn word and gets to ignore children, deaf children.
He gets to sit on his golden throne wearing his amazing fucking red leather whatever shoes that he has, and
he doesn't wear the shoes.
Oh, that's one little thing that he did.
He took a vow of poverty, so he doesn't sit on the golden throne, and he doesn't stay in the opulent Pope suite. He stays in a different opulent suite, and doesn't wear the red shoes.
Says to me that the Grand High Sparrow enjoys his power a little bit too much.
It's the Grand High fucking Sparrow. Exactly.
That's exactly who they made him look like too. If you look closely enough, holy shit, they made the Grand High Sparrow look exactly like Pope Francis. It's amazing.
Totally did. Because the Sparrow, while being the Grand High Sparrow in that show, while being a true believer, is not a good person.
No,
he's not a good person.
No, we learned this on the last season. Fuck. Even more in the season before that. But anyway, we're in Game of Thrones territory. So it's been about a month. Yeah, I know this joke's getting kind of old every time we bring up the topic of what we're talking about. Yeah, it's been about a month since we did the Decalogue. So how about this week? We do the top 10 arguments we hear from Christians or creationists and why they simply have to stop.
Oh, good. I love it. Let's do it.
I got the arguments, so you're going to have to help me out with the why they should stop thing. So starting out this week is one of the worst ways for any religious person to try and sway me to their position. Number 10 is the look at the trees argument. And
aren't the trees pretty?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Sunsets? The same Ray Comfort shitty argument about how complex stuff simply can't exist without there being a God. And this tends to be a favorite topic for members of my own family to bring up. They'd brought up the whole, just look at nature.
I need to clarify. Is this the things are pretty and we like them, so God is real? Or is this the you can't have an eyeball without?
It's kind of the whole like
a person.
when I said look at the trees, it's like, well, how did that thing that exists perfectly to do the one thing that it does, that provides oxygen for us and it's irreducible complex stuff. So
it is okay. So it's both. It's that irreducible complexity. Okay.
So I get this brought up with family. So I normally don't get mad, but it's like somehow I'm the crazy one for suggesting that complex systems can't be explained by an even more complex explanation. When they're trying to say, when they say God did it, I'm like, excuse me, that just complicates things.
Yeah. So
that makes it so much harder.
Yeah, no, but the reason that one needs to stop is because dogs. Because dogs.
I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, because wolves are not dogs, and they can interbreed, but they're not dogs. Yeah. And we have manipulated dogs through genetics to do lots of different things, like my mom has a mini schnauzer and his job that he was bred to do is being an alarm dog. And I'm going to tell you, he's very barky. But then there's herd dogs like Australian cattle dogs, which are my favorite. So I'm going to them. Healers. Yeah. And they are really good at herding cattle, but they're not nearly as vocal as the mini schnauzer. Not even close. And then there's Great Danes, which were bred to be, as far as I can tell, really dumb and adorable and not understand their own bodies. That's all I can. I'm pretty sure that's what they were bred for. No, they're so great. And they're not wolves. And so if we can mess with genetics like that, then nature is going to affect genetics, right?
Yeah.
Like
naturally.
It's really, naturally. Real simple though. Like it doesn't even have to be a thought process. Like you can tell that the grass that has genetics that doesn't need as much water is going to survive better through droughts than this grass that needs more water.
Yep.
And therefore, like, how is this so hard?
Yeah.
It's the worst argument. Oh God, but there's a tree there. Yeah, and you're related to it, motherfucker.
And the funny thing is, this is only number 10. So number 9, this one deserves a special place on the trash heap of arguments. And oh boy, it's one of our favorites. Fucking Pascal's wager. Seriously?
Oh.
This is the type of argument that you feel best suits you. What if I'm wrong? Motherfucker, you'd be lucky to even be right. Wasn't there an Emo Phillips comedy routine about this specifically where he asks the guy, so what are you, Christian? And he's like, oh, I'm Christian too. And he goes like, what branch are you? And they start going down the whole phylogenetic tree of like religions and stuff like that.
What if you're wrong?
And then he gets to the bottom of it and realizes like the guy's like, oh, are you second ward or third ward? And he's like, oh, third ward. He's like, oh, well, you're wrong. It's just like,
exactly.
Like,
what if you're wrong?
So many different sects of your shit that it just doesn't even work for me. So,
yeah. Oh, well, what if there is a God? Which one?
Yeah. What kind of God?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the one that intercedes? Or are you talking about the one that just watches? Or are you talking about,
Is it a pantheon or is it just the one? Does he have a wife? Because Christians seem to be disagreeing on that one as well.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go back and look at Old Testament, where it was the Hebrews were fucking polytheists.
They were. The Hebrews were polytheists before they were monotheistic.
And I love that the Mormons have adopted the word for their God, Elohim, that they consider the Godhead, the one on high, the Heavenly Father, Elohim, is just the Hebrew word for the plural word of gods.
And here's how they always know their form of Christianity is right. Here's how they always know.
I just know.
They feel it.
Exactly.
They have feelings.
We're getting to that one. We'll get to that one here in a minute.
They have feelings. Okay.
Yeah. So number 8 and number 7, they kind of go together in one basket, really. So they're deplorable, but they're not too very different. They're two very different arguments. So number 8 is we have this book that says so and so.
Yes, there's a book. There's usually a book.
And number 7 is the person who relies on anecdotal evidence. The one that brings that kind of shit up. I'm not a 100% into the mythicist camp, but because ultimately it really doesn't fucking matter to me. But having a book that lists your deity as being is real quick way to get a paddling. I mean, unless your book contains historical reference and can be backed up with contemporary evidence and citations, I'm going to choose not to believe it.
There are parts of the Bible that can, but
not all of them.
Not the New Testament, really, though, like at all.
I view a lot of what comes out of the Bible as anecdotal evidence. It makes me really guffaw when certain folks try to do the same in person. I saw a ghost. I swear I heard a voice. I witnessed a miracle. It's all shorthand for I'm human and can't be trusted.
My favorite anecdote, I have two favorites. I prayed for a thing and then the thing happened. It's never anything big. It's like, I prayed to God and I'm just going to use this because it just happened to me, but I didn't pray. Yeah. But I prayed to God that I would get a better job, and then I got one. Did you apply?
I was going to say.
Did you interview? Were you qualified?
Did you dress up?
Yeah.
Did you know your shit?
Yeah. Or did you fucking lie? Like, yeah, that's also a possibility.
That's a key form of getting a job.
People do that. Oh, I didn't have to lie on my interview.
Hey, folks, if you're putting in for a federal job anywhere, on the questions that it asks you, like if you're an expert at this thing, don't tell the truth. You are always an expert and you know everything, and people come to you for this. That's just a little bit of help out there I'm giving for people.
Oh, I was going to say, when they ask you if you're a terrorist, answer. Don't say yes.
Don't say
I love that question. Like, that is an actual question. Are you a terrorist?
Are you now, or have you ever been a member of an organization attempting to overthrow the United States government? I was like,
nope.
No.
Nope. Anyway.
Yeah.
But then my other favorite it's a Mormon one specifically. I'm sure it comes from other ones, but when I pay my tithing, good things happen to me.
Oh boy.
But when I don't pay my tithing, bad things happen to me.
Maybe you're conditioned to feel guilt for not doing something, and so you're looking for anything potentially.
We already know this about the brain. If you already feel bad, if you're already in a bad mood, if you're tired, your brain's gonna remember. If you're sad about something, your brain's gonna remember the bad thing easier, because that's how recall works. Very heavily based in emotion. And so if you're feeling bad, you're going to remember bad things a lot more. You're going to notice them more. You're going to pull them out. But if you're feeling good, you're going to feel good regardless of the bad things.
Yep.
Like most of the time. Like if I'm having a good fucking day, if it is a good day, I went to the park and I got to pet a dog and then I got some really good cheese and then I stubbed my toe. I'm not going to remember the stub in my toe part. I'm going to remember the cheese and the dog.
That sucked, but everything else was great.
Yeah. I had a great night last night at New Year's Eve because we're recording this New Year's Day. Yeah. I had a great night. I can't remember anything bad happening to me, but I'm sure certain that there was something that was mildly inconvenient for a moment.
Yeah.
But I can't remember it because I had a good night. It was in a good mood.
Yes.
Really
So
easy.
Anecdotal evidence does not fucking work, and neither does your book that you might have about something. I just don't trust to follow that because I always like to go to the whole, I have proof that God exists, holding up the Holy Bible. I'm like, I've got proof that Dr. Doom exists. And, you hold up a fucking comic book kind of thing. So same fucking difference.
I got to pet a cute snake. I don't touch their head though. Don't touch their head, but I got to pet a cute snake.
All right. Number 6. This one is about how the beliefs that is because X amount of people of Y amount of years have done something, then Z must be correct, Oh,
this is if it's not true, then how come so many people died over it? Is that argument, right?
Or like the whole, well, if it's false, then why are there 1.6 billion people that believe in it,
Just because an idea is popular doesn't mean it's right. Most of the world can now easily acknowledge that the Twilight books and movies are goddamn terrible. They were very popular.
And it breaks my heart to see Rob Pattinson play to be playing Edward in that. And I'm watching Harry Potter with my kid, and I watched Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and he was Cedric Diggory in there.
I remember.
And I'm like, aw.
And I remember, like, when I was a teenager.
He was such a cute guy.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, Cedric, hello. Like, and I remember other girls my age being like, oh, that's Cedric though, right? Yeah, Cedric was hot. And then, like, I got older, and I was an adult by the time the Twilight became a thing. Ugh. Like, adultish,
Yeah, I read the first 2 books out of spite.
Yeah, I read all 4, and I closed it and went, it's not the worst thing I've read.
Not even the werewolf Caesarean?
It was a vampire Caesarean.
Was it vampire? Okay, I didn't know if it was.
Yeah,
I thought
because the only thing strong enough to rip open vampire skin is vampire teeth or werewolf teeth. But the werewolf wasn't available at the time. Anyway,
man.
So stupid.
Yeah, we can all agree that they were bad books and terrible stories.
We can say this now, and we can also say that the Greek gods don't live on Mount Olympus. They don't live there. They're not at the top of Mount Olympus.
I think we can all agree in 2017 now, I got to get used to saying that Safety Dance was a terrible song in the 80s. We can go where we want to. Leave your friends. Yeah, it's just the thing. You get swept up in things doesn't mean it has to be real. I went back and watched Barbie Girl with my daughters today, and I was like, okay, it's terrible. But I remember fuck people because I love that first album they did. God, Aqua I
loved Aqua.
I love them still.
Okay, but just because an idea is popular doesn't make it right. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily make it wrong either. Like there are certain things, like there are people who hate the game Cards Against Humanity, and there are people who love it. Neither is wrong.
Except when there are cases where people are definitely wrong, and that comes from, I support Trump because he's for the everyman.
They're wrong. Well, they're factually wrong, and they're also bad people a little bit. At least a little bit. They're at least a little bit bad.
I still say the definition sticks. You're a basket full of deplorables.
I agree. I agree.
Number 5. When a believer does something obviously based on the teachings and a learning in a religion, people are quick to dismiss them as being true. True blank, like true Christians or true Islamists or something like that.
Oh, the No True Scotsman kind of thing.
So yeah, but it's not quite as simple as a No True Scotsman. It's more of the whole, our religion doesn't say that, or it doesn't teach that, but anyone who does blank can't blame the church. Fucking hate
I love that one. No true Mormon would
turn away their gay son,
Exactly. No true Mormon would do that. But then they do that all the time based on the teachings of the church. Like, they do that all the time. Yeah.
No true Islamist would, kill a Jew, even though
the book is pretty goddamn explicit. Pretty goddamn,
anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's just guidelines. That's the pick and choose Islamists that are talking there. So
yeah, they're just hateful people.
Yeah. All right, number 4, any appeal to emotion. Any one of them.
Oh, okay. There it is.
The ones that tell you that the burning in your bosom is a sign from God, your gut reactions are a sign from God, and so on and so forth. This one works especially well against me. I hate to admit it, but it really does. Because, the childhood programming I had about demons and ghosts and Jesus and everything. So, like the loving Jesus thing. I was watching at where was I? I think it was at the Joseph Smith building. The mother-in-law took us all to go see a movie. A movie. This is before kids. Oh. So she took us to go see a movie at the Joseph Smith building, and I watched it. And the part where the Nephites get to meet Jesus and stuff, yeah, I started to tear up a little bit because I can't fucking help it. I was programmed as a kid to love this guy, to think that he is love, this whole kind of thing. And it fucks me up to my day nowadays where I'm watching something, I'm like, oh my God, that's so touching. I love Jesus. Like, wait a minute. Wait.
I still love religious imagery and songs. Like, Johnny Cash, God's Gonna Cut Him Down. Oh, it's such a good song. Yeah.
But keep in mind, everybody, when I say something like this, that's not because I believe in Jesus. Because look, I cry at every fucking Pixar movie, just about.
Yeah, I cry a lot. I'm a crier.
Bing Bong tore me the fuck up. I was like sobbing in the theater. My wife was like, God. Are you okay? I'm like, he's so noble.
See, it wasn't Bing Bong. What killed me was when her happiness was gone. Oh. She was so depressed that she couldn't even remember happiness.
Yep.
Like, I was all of a sudden like remembering my depths of the depression I was in because of my abusive relationship, and like, oh God, I'm just
or like Good Dinosaur when the dad dies and stuff, and you're like, fuck this movie. Pixar, you do it to me every goddamn time, fucking even right now.
When we're talking about emotional things and we're talking about great storytelling, there have been, not the Bible. The Bible's bad at it. The Bible's real bad at it. But there have been people who have told the story where you're like, oh man, feelings, a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
So many feelings right now. But just because you feel a thing doesn't make the thing that caused the feeling more real. Now, Sometimes it is. Sometimes you are in a really great relationship, and the reason that you have those feelings is because you're sharing them with another person. It's really easy to tell the difference because when you're watching a movie that's fiction and it makes you feel a feeling, did its job.
Yeah.
If you're feeling the feeling it's intending you to feel is what it's done its job.
Every time I watch Pink Floyd The Wall, I feel very much a sense of helplessness.
Oh my God. Every time I watch that movie, I feel like I'm going insane. I hate that movie.
It is a beating. I mean, I love that movie, but it is a fucking
beautiful. I hate that movie. I am not saying it is bad art. I am not. That this is me going, I hate that movie because I don't derive what it makes me feel, I hate.
Yeah. Let's move on to number 3. And this one is oddly specific only because I've heard it so many goddamn times. I hear it at least once every couple of weeks, is the Kalam cosmological argument. And some people might be wondering what that one is. If you listen to Billy Lane Craig, the guy, the self-proclaimed doctor, he's one of the apologist debate guys.
What?
You know who William Lane Craig is?
No, I've been kind of on a media blackout. I've been listening to funny things only because I got really depressed after the election.
So
like
William Lane Craig has gone around for years. I mean, he's done this for a long time on the pro debate circuit, debating atheists kind of thing.
Oh, that's the other thing. I don't listen to those anymore. I listened to like two and I was like, I'm done.
So
I get it.
This is his cosmological argument. It came from an Arabic guy from a long fucking time ago. But he turned it into this brief syllogism that is rendered kind of like this. He says, number one, or point one, whatever begins to exist has a cause.
That's nonsense statement.
Yeah, automatically he loses in my book because, like, prove that.
Yeah, well, cause. Please define cause.
Please define cause and define exist.
Define exist. Define cause.
Define begin. Whatever begins to exist has a cause.
Define the beginning.
Yeah, see, there's too much there. And so it goes on to number two. The universe began to exist, therefore the universe has a cause.
But we don't know if the universe began to exist.
So
we do know there was a point that has set off in motion our current timeline, and that was the Big Bang, and that is the existence of things as we know it. But that does not we don't know if that was the beginning of the universe. We don't know if that was we don't know what that was. We just know there was a rapid expansion of energy and matter. That's what we know.
Yeah, because we can't go further back than a certain time. We'll probably never know. Maybe we will. Who knows? But if you buy that syllogism and you move on to the second one where he sets up the further premise and conclusion where he says the universe has a cause. There's point one. Point two, if the universe has a cause, then an uncaused personal creator of the universe exists. He jumped off the wave, off the fucking deep end.
Well, that doesn't even make any fucking sense because, okay, that's why I wanted to definition of the word cause, because are you saying a reason or are you saying an origin, like a consequence? If you're saying a cause, is it a consequence? Like, is this caused this, caused this, caused this? Or are you saying that the cause of it is its why of existence? And even if it's either one, if this caused this, caused this, caused this, then how can you say that there is a singular origin? One, two, like a single originator. How can you even go back to that? And second, if it's a purpose, then how can you claim that there's a singular purpose? And how can you claim that there's a singular purpose maker? Like you're just saying that just because. So if we're shortening the argument, it's we exist, therefore there had to be something that made us exist. And no, we don't know that.
There's nothing that forced us into existence.
Forced.
We are a byproduct of a long fucking time, and what is it? The laws of thermodynamics, where you introduce enough energy into a system, something's bound to happen. So
if I don't, and they're not, but if the bacteria in my gut is sentient and has societies and is aware of its existence, it can have no concept of me pouring wine into it right now. It just knows that wine is a natural occurrence. But it can't. But there is no way. And alcohol. There is no way that it can know that it's the one that there is an objective. That there's a person,
a being on the outside,
a singular being causing it. There would be no way for them to be able to understand that.
This is why when I do a podcast where I say fucking shit a lot, so that I can get away with being able to talk about stuff without having to get caught up in the fucking spaghetti basket of bullshit that comes from Billy Lane Craig and all these people of like, well, if you introduce this one thing and you do this, then it's like, no, I don't care. I don't care. I don't. It's like, well, we have proof that Jesus existed. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Well, we believe that he believes that he lived. Okay, great. That's fine. We'll go with that one.
There are a lot of scholars, the vast majority of scholars believe there was a dude.
Yeah. And I'll agree with him on that one. There probably was a Josh guy.
I'm totally gonna say that these guys know more than me. This has been their lifelong work.
Yeah, and guess what? That's not an appeal to authority either.
No, it's not. It's called checking your goddamn sources, because these motherfuckers are peer reviewed.
Yeah. And this country is going through a very dark state right now, where we're not willing to let an expert be an expert.
Even among skeptics, that's a problem.
Yeah, we're not willing to listen to somebody else that is their goddamn job to be an expert at this kind of thing. Anyway, we're going to move on to number 2. Anything, and I mean anything, presuppositional. Anything. This is an argument that will not fly with the logically minded. Not only do you have to convince the other side that your presuppositions are correct, you have to show them why they're right. Not to mention...
This goes back to number 3, though.
This is the presuppositional apologetics like Seitan Bruggencate uses, where he's like, in my book, God says that everybody has God written on their hearts, and so therefore you are denying God. You cannot come into a worldview based on anything without first involving God in it, and kind of thing. And so it's just like, it's fucking irritating. So
okay, so maybe I'm a bad atheist, but yeah. I never quite understood the term presuppositional. Like, I was like, I mean, I understand it's presupposed a thing, but it just didn't make any sense from a theological argument. And maybe it's just because like I'd already understood enough logic to be like, that how can you presuppose a variable? Like, so, you can't presuppose a variable. You can't presuppose that everyone has God written on their heart.
So using the rational,
we can literally test that. We can literally test that, and no one has God written on their heart. No one does.
So using Rational Wiki, and I know they're biased. Fuck you guys for thinking that we will use something that's not biased. Presuppositionalism is the idea that Christian worldview that only the Christian worldview can account for logic, morality, science, induction, consciousness itself, and peanut brittle. And that all other worldviews are absurd. So
okay, so that's what it means. That's specifically what they mean when they're talking about presuppositional. Because that doesn't even make any goddamn fucking sense, because we have history. We have mythologies from thousands and thousands of cultures that predate Christianity. I mean, we have these things. So you can't assume... I'm broken. It's fine. Moving on.
I'm trying to find the Seitan Bruggencate. He had a website where it was a like decision tree kind of thing. Oh yeah, proofthatgodexists.org. I'm going to reference everybody to go there. So here it is. Okay. The first thing that comes up that says truth. Absolute truth exists. Absolute truth does not exist. I don't know if absolute truth exists, and I don't care if absolute truth exists.
Yes. I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes, I don't care if absolute truth exists. But that's going to dump you onto some other website. Yeah. He redirects you to Disney.
Okay. But
Weirdo.
Really quick, no, I mean, there are absolute truths. If you have 2 matter and then you have 2 more of the same matter and you put those 2 of the same matter together with the other 2 matter, you have 4 of the matter.
Yeah.
Right?
So let's say absolute truth does exist. Okay. And it says knowledge. I know something to be true. I don't know anything to be true.
That's an absolute ridiculous. That's an impossible statement.
This website is fucking ridiculous. I'm just going to say I know something to be true. Logic. Logic exists or logic does not exist. Come on, logic exists. Is logic universal?
But logic has nothing to do with knowledge necessarily.
No, and that's where these people conflate
logic is a tool of thinking. Logic is a tool of thinking. Logic is a tool of thinking. It has nothing to do with knowledge.
Yeah. I keep clicking down this rabbit hole.
Logic is a fucking practice.
Yeah.
So yes, logic exists because it's a tool, for fuck's sake. I also have a fucking cell phone. It also fucking exists. It's a fucking tool.
Hence why I hate anything presuppositional. I fucking hate it. I hate this argument so bad. And you need to stop.
Because they went from there is truth. Yeah. I mean, we don't know all the things that are true, but there is things that are definitely true to knowledge. You either know, like, and but knowing a thing does not necessarily. It's knowing. I'm going with the oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. Anyway, I'm going with the idea that knowledge is a statement on competence of a thing, right?
Yeah.
And just knowing a thing does not necessarily make it a truth. So that does not follow true things exist to knowing a thing. I mean, I know a lot of things, and I guarantee not all of them are objectively true.
That's true. All right, we're going to jump to our last one that we have here. Number 1, any goddamn Christian or person of faith who starts off the conversation telling me why I'm an atheist and what atheism means.
Fun one.
And tells me that I just want to sin, or literally any of the permutations that come from that, because I fucking hate it when people tell me what my position is on things. God damn it.
Would someone fucking define sin? Because no one seems to agree on what a goddamn sin is. There are Christian churches that don't think premarital sex is a sin. There are Christian churches that don't think homosexual sex is a sin.
Why couldn't I have been a member of that congregation growing up? No, I had to be in the fucking Southern Baptist church, and
don't worry,
everything is a sin. Everything.
They're still kind of fucked up. But nobody can agree on what a sin is. Is drinking alcohol a sin?
Yep.
Is it? Which one? Because the Catholics certainly don't fucking think so. Catholics certainly don't think so.
It blows my mind to realize that they have a special dispensation from other countries' laws to be able to give kids wine, I know, as the organization. That's fucked up. I'm not pissed off about the kids drinking wine or anything like that, but at the same time, it's like, this is an institution that is giving kids wine. I'm like, if that doesn't foreshadow how fucked up this organization is, I don't know what it is. I just used to get stale crackers and fucking grape juice. I mean, that's what the church that I used to had. It's never fun with real audio without Alex Jones. And
oh, goddamn it, X, I fucking hate you.
I know. Everybody. Not everybody. Specifically the people that I put on the panel with me. I know you know what I mean. It's so funny. But here we go, Alex Jones.
Carrie had been on a publicity tour for her new book, The Princess Dearest.
So he said The Princess Dearest. And as I'm looking at the shit from that he's doing on the show, that he actually put like a little infographic up on InfoWars, InfoWars. He said Princess Dearest. It's diarist, as in someone who writes a diary, not dearest, diarist, you fucking idiot.
Book recently made headlines before she wrote about having an affair with co-star Harrison Ford while shooting the original Star Wars movies. I'm not going to kick off a conspiracy theory here.
Oh, really? Are you not?
Really? Let's put it this way.
Let's
put it this way. I'm straightish. I would fuck Harrison Ford in his prime.
Oh, my God.
At least for the story.
I'd fuck Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford in their prime. Oh, man.
Carrie Fisher, like, even when she first... Because, people that watch the old original Star Wars, you don't realize a lot of the time, but she's not wearing like undies. She's not wearing like a bra.
I know. She made a joke about this. Very funny. She was very funny. She was very
funny, very feminist, and very open about her mental illnesses,
Fucking hero, man. She's just a badass. No, but proud moment this week. So we're at the grocery store with the kiddo. And he sees he likes Hot Wheel cars, and there was a bunch of Star Wars Hot Wheel cars there.
Oh yeah.
And he started getting like excited, and he was like, "Oh, this is cool! Look, a spaceship!" Rah! And then he honed in on a car shaped like R2-D2, and I was like, because I could never get him to sit down and watch anything like before. So he's finally old enough. I was like, "It is time."
It's time.
So it is time. So, and I told William he is not allowed to start on episode 1. It has to be episode 4. has to be a new hope.
Yep.
Do not start him on episode 1. And he's like, fine, because he doesn't care like I do. But
it matters. It really fucking matters.
It matters.
Empire
really
has so much more impact when you don't know who Vader is, you know?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really matters. And they really should be viewed in that order. It's so perfect that way. But he was in. Like it was perfect. I'm in there. I'm in cooking dinner because I like to. Like I'm a super feminist. And I stand by that.
Yeah,
and women shouldn't have to cook.
But because
no, I don't have to. I never have to cook dinner. I just really love cooking. Like I never have to. And there's plenty of nights where I don't want to, and William cooks. It's neat. But
I wish that were the case.
But I was cooking meatloaf. William had said he wanted meatloaf. I'm like, I can make that. And then broccoli and cheese. So it was anyway. So I'm in there cooking, and the kid yelling, Felicia, R2D2. I'm like, yeah, it's R2D2. He's like, and then they split up. C3PO and R2D2 split up in the desert, and he's like, oh, the gold guy. Is he gonna be okay? I hope he's okay. What's gonna happen to the gold guy? And, oh my god, he's like, what? Oh, the walls are crushing. The walls are coming in on him, you guys. The walls are coming in. Like he was like in, and I'm like, yes, we've got him into the Star Wars.
So
next time this next week, I'm gonna show him episode 5.
So to drag us back into an unfortunate reality, Alex Jones is talking about, I'm not going to kick off a conspiracy.
That's right.
So what usually follows a statement where you say something along the lines of, I'm not going to, or not to sound like a blank, blank, blank. It usually follows with but.
Yeah. So there's one instance in my life before I was really fully aware of racial bias and unconscious bias and everything, where
it was so much easier living in that fog, wasn't it?
Yeah, where I really didn't want to be racist. I didn't, but at the same time, I definitely had my biases that I was not aware of. And I'm going to say this one moment was not racist of me. It was aware of the difference, but that we're in DC, me and my ex-husband, and Utah is remarkably not diverse, particularly. And so we're sitting in a diner. It's a lovely diner. And I look around and I go, not to sound racist, there's a lot more black people here than there is in Utah. And that's actually not racist. Like,
no, because black people are like 3 per square mile.
There is.
Actually, it's less than that, I would think.
It was actually probably healthy of me to go, there's more black people in other places than in Utah. Like, that was probably a good observation for me to make. It would probably make me more aware of the real fucking world, right?
But it's also a smack across the head, like, duh, Felicia.
Right. No, it was. I was like, is it racist for me to notice that? It's like, no, it's just that you've lived in a bubble.
Oh, man. Boy, do I have to mention to people sometimes, like, you live in Utah, conservative fucking Utah, where like it's mostly white. If it's not white, it's Mexican. And there
was no follow-up statement like,
no.
And black people are more rowdy or something crazy like that.
Like you're saying like, there's a lot more black people here. I better hold on to my purse. That would make it a racist statement.
That would have been racist. No. It was what I remarked on was that it had seemed perfectly normal. And I actually did this in high school where I'd look around a room and go, holy shit, this room is white.
Yeah, I do that all the goddamn time. So
yeah,
that doesn't make it racist.
Right. But like, I just looked around the room, noticed that there was more black people than I am used to seeing in a particular locale. And that was the end of my observation.
So anyway, he's not going to kick off a conspiracy.
But most of the time you say, now I'm not blank. You're definitely.
And what follows that? What follows that? So
I'm not.
But you hear about star killers and different stars that say, as soon as you're not big, as soon as your name isn't big, as soon as you're not making them money, whether you're a rock and roll star, a country star, or a movie star, Look out when a big movie comes out about you or a big book. If you die, though, it'll make it incredibly valuable when that second hurrah comes around. And sometimes, basically, the mafia that's out in Hollywood will kill you. And
you do realize, Alex, that she had other movies in the near future, right?
Yeah, she did. And book deals. And
she was making money.
The original Star Wars are still making money.
She was making plenty of money. She was not hurting for. Whoever their agent was for Carrie Fisher was not hurting for money. You know,
she was about to make several more Star Wars films. At least two more.
At least episode 8 and 9. We thankfully we have 8 in the can.
Yeah, but you think that you think that she was worth more dead for episode 9? Because I'm guaranteeing you the people making that movie are like,
fuck.
Oh, can we make her CG?
Be like, should we? Because this is the movie where her and Kylo are supposed to like reconcile, and you know, which is really gonna fuck me up if that's really what the case was supposed to be, and now we're never gonna get that story. Like, man,
I know. Like, no, she was worth so much more alive. That's okay. First of all, you did just totally start the Hollywood mafia, and you're
such bullshit.
Let me tell you something. Alex Jones. Books don't make more money than blockbuster movies.
A lot of books, you have to write like 5 or 6 before you start getting paid for them.
Yeah. And you know what? Books are great. They're still pretty profitable. They cost less to produce, and they're still a very legitimate
a great medium.
Form.
Yes.
Yes, it's a great form of medium. It's still a very successful business plan. It still works. And yes, her book is going to make a lot more now that she's dead, but only in the short term, because she's not going to write more.
Yeah. She's not going to do that tell-all. She's not going to have all of this amazing stuff that we're never going to hear now. So anyway, Alex, what was he going to say?
Talk to some high-powered people in Hollywood, not just some of the people that have been public, you know, who ran off to Canada and others, who said, indeed, this is something you've really got to worry about. So you want to stay big, you want to stay basically in the spotlight and have value, because then only killing you gives you value because of a new burst of money that your managers or others are going to have. Now,
okay, here's the thing. Carrie never stopped making money from Star Wars, ever.
Nope.
Nope. She never stopped being all the insane wealthy. Never stopped. She had her addiction issues, her mental health issues. She wrote about them prolifically. She was very open about them. But Star Wars was such a big fucking deal that she could have kept working. Harrison Ford did it beautifully. But you know who else?
Carrie Fisher with Beyond Star Wars, she did Blues Brothers, which was it's a fucking cult favorite, man. That's an amazing goddamn movie. I don't care what anybody says, but
Mark Hamill went into voice acting. Literally,
man, did he fucking kill it in voice acting too?
She okay. The risk of taking somebody out of the game who willingly leaves the game doesn't make any fucking sense, because they keep making money off of her. They're going to keep making money off of her whether she's alive or dead. And guess what? Star Wars is going to continue being profitable forever. The original 3 are still going to continue being profitable because they are just that good. You know, they're so good. They're so good.
So many people just shitting on Disney owning Marvel and Star Wars and stuff and making new movies. Literally, they're doing 2 Marvel movies a year now. And there's a lot of people that are like, I don't like that. I don't think that's a good idea. And me, I'm like, fucking pour it down my gullet, my fat ass gullet, so I can enjoy these delicious movies that keep coming out.
I'm just gonna keep loving every single moment of it. And
every year when they release a new Star Wars, like around Christmas time, I fucking love it. I've gone to see Rogue One 3 times now.
So I had not prepped for a late night, and I woke up plenty early. And then we went to go see it, and I was like a little kid, like trying to stay awake, watching something they loved. And I'm like, So we had to leave because I was falling asleep.
Because there were some parts where it's like, okay, this is a bit slower.
No.
I worried about the kids watching it, but they kept up the whole time. So
no, I was enjoying it. I was really enjoying it, but I was just I'm old. I'm getting old.
You haven't hit 30 yet.
Not yet, but I've already noticed
to 40.
I've already noticed that if I'm going to stay up late, I better take a nap earlier in the day.
Oh fuck, I miss naps. Oh god, do I miss naps?
Hashtag no babies.
No babies, no kids.
A little old for her age, and I know her and Mark Hamill reportedly like to party a little bit. So that's probably
wait. They like to party a little bit. Did they do upper deckers to each other? Is that what they
did? Is that insane sexual stuff, buddy?
They like to poop at parties. They like to poop at them. They're potty poopers.
Not what happened. But when you got Joan Rivers saying,
"Oh no,
Michelle Obama's a tranny," everybody knows, and a couple of weeks later, she gets killed getting some plastic surgery. You know there's an issue.
God damn it, Alex. She didn't die from saying that Michelle Obama was a trans woman. And which I can't believe I spent any amount of time in the last couple of weeks actually researching that fucking thing. I can't believe that I wasted any of my free time in my adult time.
Did Joan Rivers say that?
Yeah, and she died shortly after because I don't know. She died from going under a fucking surgical procedure.
Yeah, that's that happens still.
You do realize that people die from anesthesia, right?
Yeah. And not my favorite joke from Joan Rivers, but she was was kind of her shtick, right?
I loved her. She was just crass. She was just terrible.
God, she was hilarious. She was hilarious. I don't know her delivery, but she certainly wouldn't have been saying it in a serious sense. She said a lot of really crazy things.
Horrible
she also
shit.
She also talked about walking on her own breasts. That never happened.
Never happened, Alex. How about that?
That never happened. She never walked on her own breasts.
So, like I've been saying, I love having Twitter battles with Brian Fisher because he's such an easy target. And apparently, he wants to talk about the single. What is it? The single stall bathrooms at Target and stuff. The unisex bathrooms.
Oh,
because apparently the Christian right is going even more insane over the fact that HB2 was upheld. They love this shit. I don't know why.
All you have to do, basically, if you really want to do something for people who are gender confused, is put in a unisex bathroom.
Oh, fuck you with gender confused. No, that is not the term. That is not right. No. You don't say somebody is gender confused.
They're not fucking confused. They fucking know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
one locking stall, and that still provides for protection of women like me or children like my daughter was when she was victimized by a peeper. I mean, that's all it would take. So a lot of this discussion is fruitless and just fronted by people who don't want to put their money where their mouths are.
All right, Terry, listen, I appreciate that. And that's what we suggested to Target, just develop these unisex bathrooms, make that option as a third option available to people. So they got a place they can go. It's their own. They're not getting the same treatment. They're getting special treatment.
So
what?
The lady suggested that she needed the single stall bathrooms and stuff was protection from a peeper. Her kid was victimized by a peeper. That more than likely was a straight white guy.
That would have been a cisgendered white guy. Most likely. The vast majority of the time. I mean, even accounting for population, it's straight cisgendered white guys that are most likely to do that.
Yeah. And I appreciate the fact that they're trying to say, let's just get unisex bathrooms. Yeah, I appreciate that. But, they're now saying they want unisex bathrooms. It's like, no, they just want to go to the bathroom of the gender that they identify as. It has nothing to do with, having a third choice. And Brian, those unisex bathrooms are fucking amazing for all genders. And they're for everybody. I've used them to take my kids to the bathroom, and they are literally the best thing ever.
I actually would like to see unisex / family bathrooms that are single, occupancy or whatever for I mean, with changing tables, because there are a lot of dads who can't change their kids in public. Yeah.
Yep.
And this is
when
a
I
thing.
have to take 3 daughters to go take a whiz somewhere because they're kids and they have small bladders, I don't want to have to, send them off. And it's protective. It's stupidly protective of like saying, okay, go into the girls' room and go do this thing. It's better than them coming with me to the guys' bathroom because it's awkward for the other guys in the room.
Well,
Kids don't give a shit.
But I mean, yeah, but what if the kids are having an issue? Like, what if they're having trouble getting their pants undone? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing.
So I'm thankful. I'm very thankful that lots of unisex bathrooms do exist or family bathrooms exist, because that means I can thankfully take care of my family and kids without having to worry about this shit.
But guess what? That's not what transgender people need. That's for people like you, and that's for people. I mean, I've gone into unisex bathrooms if I've had to change.
Or people that are poo shy. They can't do like the poop in front of with other stalls in the room.
It's all great. It works for everyone, but that's not what they're for. And saying that people have to go into a specific bathroom, it's stupid. It's so stupid. And it doesn't make any sense. Honestly, I don't understand why. I mean, we just do, and it's not going to change overnight or anything.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time wrapping my head around gendered bathrooms anyway.
Yeah, I don't get that either, but it's not going to change anytime soon. But
hey, William and I hit a milestone in our relationship.
I poop in front of him?
I peed in the same room. He was in the shower and I had to pee. There's one bathroom. That was the option.
You do what you have to do. All right, let's let Brian finish.
You're a tiny little slice of the population. They're going to have a bathroom facility that's reserved exclusively for them.
No.
But it's not.
That's not it at all, Brian. I mean, just because it says unisex bathroom doesn't mean that it's made just for trans people. That's not what that room exists for.
And they don't need it. They don't want it. They don't need it.
No, if they are identify as female, they want to go to the ladies' room. If they identify as male, they want to go to the men's room. And if they identify as anything in between, maybe they will use the unisex. I don't know.
Maybe they want to. Whatever. Yeah. I don't care. But here's the thing: is that that unisex, a lot of people see it as a facility for people who need it the most, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? Transgender women don't need the room that is for people who need it the most. Like you said, a dad who's got 3 daughters who needs to get into the bathroom. Like, that's not what a single trans woman, if that's her situation, needs. She doesn't need a unisex. She needs to just run into a stall and pee like the rest of
the fucking world. These guys, especially Brian Fisher and all of the people of their ilk, think that something else is going on inside the bathrooms, and it's a battle we've been fighting for over a year now, where they think they're going into the bathroom for like a sexual reason or something. It's like, no, they're going in there to get rid of bodily waste like everybody fucking else does. Yeah, they're just happening to go into the room they feel most comfortable going into.
And honestly, and this never happens, but if there was a line out the men's room and a guy just needed to pee and he came in the women's room and he just went into a stall and he peed, that'd be fine. I understand why women would be particularly uncomfortable with that, because guess who is the most perpetrator of peeping?
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is, for a lot of guys' bathrooms, like especially at like stadiums and shit, we have troughs, which is fucking weird. A whole bunch of guys standing around just urinating in front of each other. It's fucking weird, man.
I've seen the trough.
Ugh,
it's a strange thing.
It's disgusting.
It's a strange.
All right, Brian, finish what you're going to say.
Sexually normal people don't have that. That's a special deal. That's not equal rights. That's special rights. You get your own special bathroom with privacy that nobody else gets, and yet they still complain.
Okay, we've already gone over the unisex bathrooms and shit.
Sexually normal, though?
Sexually normal is a fucking dig right there. That's some asshole.
Yeah. First of all, sex is not sexually. My sex is female. Yeah. My sexuality is colorful.
I guess that's the best way of putting it.
It's so dubbed me as sexually abnormal. Oh God. As my dad used to say, who wants to be normal?
Exactly. You know, there's a man that doth protest too much, and I think his name is Gordon Klingenschmidt, and he's talking a lot this week about gays in the United States are like ISIS. which is already a bad way to begin things. I'm going to try to let him talk as much as he can, and I think I've only got a couple of breaks here, and we're going to let him talk, and we'll interrupt as few times as possible.
First of all, again, we condemn as demonic the Muslim spirit of violence. And yet we compare these so-called religious police inside of the totalitarian state of Syria that is going to control everybody's religion. So they instill religious police that are going to go around and literally put people in jail or worse, kill them, in this case, for being homosexual. Doesn't that sound to you like the Phoenix City Council in the previous story? The religious police in Phoenix are going around to the Christians who refuse to print the wedding invitations, and they're saying, because you're Christian, you're going to go to jail for 6 months.
No. No.
I'm going to bet that's not a thing.
They're not comparable at all. Not even in the slightest, Gordon.
Well, nobody's getting put in jail for not making a wedding cake.
Listen. The reason the people are getting in trouble for not making wedding cakes and all sorts of other shit is that they are a public company that uses public infrastructure in order to buy, sell, trade products and stuff. And so based on the 14th Amendment, you can't deny people services based on sex, gender, race, all these other qualifications. You can't say, I'm not going to make a cake for them because they like to fuck each other in the butt. You know, you are a cake maker. Your job is to make cakes. Why are you making a gigantic fucking grandstand based on your, I'm a Christian? No, you don't get an out like that.
You can go, I'm not going to put two dicks touching on a cake. Although if I was a cake maker, I would absolutely have a policy that we could totally do that.
I could totally make a two dick touching cake.
Oh yeah, just that's the wedding cake. Just two dicks, just like leaning against each other. Yeah, it'd be great. I want that wedding cake. I am not a gay man, but that would be fun. That'd be a fun wedding cake. Just two dicks. Just beep.
Being an owner of one, let me tell you, dicks are fun. Not as awesome as a vagina, I'm sure, or a clitoris, I would say. But.
Oh, the clitoris is so cool. It's like all up in there. Like, oh, it's so neat.
There's so much to the lady parts that.
But you don't get to see it. Like,
no.
There's like, as somebody who has witnessed the erection of a penis, like, it's kind of neat to be like visually see it. Just be like, weep. Like, it's neat. I
think the interesting thing is the throb, the whoomp, whoomp.
Oh, I know I've talked about this on the show before, but when the balls are the most crazy part. Like, they're just constantly, like, the skin's like moving.
So
like,
fucking weird.
Just moving. It's like a goddamn lava lamp. It's like, it's just moving all the time. And I'm just like, you just want to stare at it because you're like, what the fuck is going on there?
And you like poke one of them and you're like, what is it going to do now?
it's just like, it's doing a thing. It's always moving, and you guys aren't feeling it move the entire time.
Only sudden movements.
Yeah, only sudden movements. But like the fact that it's just kind of like doing like, and like the skin is like always like, oh, it's just the most bizarre thing ever.
Scrotums are weird, man.
Yeah, scrotums are the weirdest thing. So crazy. And like, it's not like nothing online does that. Like, I have to be very.
It's not like the meat curtains go out and in.
Yeah, like I held the mirror down there, and I'm like, it's not doing that. It's not moving all the time.
Like, this is some bullshit.
Crazy. And like, and like, you guys get the benefit of being able to see your own junk. Like you would just look down and like.
There's
look at it. Like, you can like fold the skin around and stuff and just see it. Like, there are women alive who have never looked at their own junk. They've never seen it.
That depresses me.
I know, me too, because I check in on it regularly.
Own your shit, ladies. Own it.
Like, I'm like, all right, that it's still there.
So anyway,
Like,
Gordon. Gordon Klingenschmidt.
Okay, but my point is,
Yeah.
nobody's going to jail for not making a gay wedding cake.
No.
It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to jail for 6 months for this, Gordon.
Nope, definitely not. And they're definitely not ISIS.
Scrotums are weird.
Now, how is that any different? We have religious police here in America that are doing the same on a lesser scale to the
But it's
Christians
not
here
the
in
same.
America
It's
that
not
the
the same
Islamic
as lesser scale.
state is doing to the homosexuals in Syria. So
Not
let me ask
What?
this.
the
Here's the
fuck?
question.
Hang on.
And I'm appealing now to the homosexuals out there. Shouldn't you
Oh yeah, he's appealing to
Oh,
the
yeah,
homosexuals out there.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm
Swipe
certain all.
right.
I am going to play this for my friend Derek.
I don't know how Grindr works. Is it set up exactly like what's the other one? Tinder?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll get
I don't
get
dare
gay friend.
download it.
We'll get gay friend Derek on the show. I told him I wanted to get him on the show a while back, and he's
Ooh,
like,
that'd be
okay, it sounds fun. I'm like, we drink and then we talk about politics and stuff. He's like, I want to do that. I'm
I
like,
want
yeah,
in.
it's fun.
We've been looking for a gay man to be on the show.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll see if
All
I
right.
can get him on.
treat others as you would want to be treated?
Ugh.
Shouldn't you treat the Christian couple in Phoenix as if they ought to have religious freedom
No,
instead of
That they get it.
no. Freedom.
It doesn't compromise their religious freedom.
Religious freedom does not equal right to fucking discriminate. I don't care how
Okay,
often you guys want to bring this up.
Here's how fucking stupid it is. There are I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure the person who made my wedding cake was a Mormon. And, when I was married, and they don't believe in premarital sex.
Mm.
And you know what I actively believe in and
Lots
have
of sex.
practiced? So much sex. All the time sex. And premarital. Definitely premarital. Everyone should have sex before they're married. Everyone should. Safe sex. Practice
Agreed.
safe sex. But everyone should have sex before they're married. I actually think that's a good thing. Like, I mean, I'm not going to force anyone into my decision. I'm not going to refuse to serve somebody who practices abstinence. Like, that's a stupid thing to think or say.
As a business,
But
it's stupid for you.
Yeah, it'd be so stupid. But I believe in it. And yet somebody who has sincerely held religious beliefs made my goddamn wedding cake. Oh, and as our other listeners will also know, had picked up on, I also like it kind of kinky. Kinda. I'm actually not that crazy, but kind of kinky. And there are a lot of people who find that morally objectionable. And
Mhm.
they're not sitting there looking at me going, I find their sex objectionable. But trust me, there are plenty of people that would. And they're not, but just because it's a penis and a vagina, suddenly it's acceptable? So, but you don't know. I don't know. But just because it's two guys together, suddenly you're like, no, I know it's objectionable, and I get to not serve you because I don't like the kind of sex you have.
deeply held Christian beliefs.
Dude, I have had penis in the back door. It has happened. And I like it.
All right, well,
Are
getting
you gonna
back to
stop
Gordon.
serving me?
hiring religious police to metaphorically throw them off a roof? You don't like it when it's done to you, so why are you doing it to others?
Metaphorically throwing Christians off of a roof.
There's no such thing
Well,
as that.
ISIS does throw gay people off of a roof, and we've seen that.
ISIS also does kill Christians and atheists
Well,
and
they're-
women,
They're supposed to
and
be
push
allowed to
them in-
get through if they pay jizya, but they make jizya like a little bit.
and particularly women children, but children of both sexes.
Yeah.
But particularly the women children. I say both sexes. There's lots of sexes, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, we're talking about the binary here. We're not talking about
Yeah.
the intersex and stuff like that, because you don't know
Well,
after they're dead.
Yeah, but they take children,
A corpse can't tell you if they're
Particularly-
genderqueer.
particularly the female children, and force them into sex slavery, and the women's force them into it, and they throw all sorts of they kill a lot of people.
They throw all sorts of people off the roof.
Yeah. It's not nearly the fucking same thing as making a goddamn cake.
Yeah, Gordon's saying that homosexuals are like the ISIS, how they throw people off roofs. Fuck you, man. All they're demanding is equal treatment under the fucking law. That's all they want. They want equality. How is equality the same as throwing somebody off a fucking roof? I don't get that.
Here's the deal. No, gay people aren't walking into a cake shop going, I'm going to force someone to make me a cake. They're going, we're getting married and we're really excited and we're going to plan the ceremony and the reception.
We've heard you make good cakes.
Yeah, let's go get it. Let's go get a cake. Like, that's part of the wedding planning process. They're not sitting there like targeting. It's not like the same fucking thing as they're targeting. They're going, let's get a cake. And then in this moment of joy and celebration for themselves, they go in and somebody goes, oh no, I don't serve your kind.
No.
What the fuck? Oh, and also the one cake maker that's been in the fucking news. The couple didn't sue. The couple didn't press charges. They posted it on social media. And then the cake store the cake store didn't receive threats from this. They got boycotted a little bit.
Yeah.
But they weren't, their business wasn't going under. No. Then that cake store retaliated by posting the couple's personal information.
That's some bullshit.
And that's what they got sued for, was for sharing private personal
people.
Information on social media. That's what they got sued for. It had nothing to do with the fucking cake.
Nope.
They shared their personal information, and that's why they went fucking under.
Bullshit.
And that's when they got the retaliation, and that's when they got the law brought down on them for sharing private personal information.
So yeah, Gordon,
Jesus.
You deserve a gigantic middle finger for that one, because that is just that is ridiculous. Well, folks, we did it. We survived another year. And the new one is just beginning. Literally, this is the 1st of January as we're recording this. And regardless of your goals or aspirations, I sincerely hope that you reach them. I'm getting to the vitriol here in a second, so don't worry. I mean, this is a rant. So, but I will apologize if I don't get so completely enamored with some of the things you people, like most people, are going to do, dear listener. I'm going to be kind of busy doing this show and trying to make it better and better. I mean, that's something that I've been working on for a long time, is making Utah Outcast a much better show. Now I know that this is a bit of me trying to sound like, give me empathy, but it's not meant to. I mean, honestly, I've never been more focused on a common enemy than I have before in my entire life with Donald Trump. I hated W, but man, do I loathe Donald Trump. I think we can all agree on everything that this man will try to enact will be a terrible fucking idea. There are people out there that are squarely in the let's give him a chance category, and I can't get there. I care too much about our marginalized people that don't have the same privileges that I get to enjoy. I fall into the demographic that'll probably not be harassed or harmed at all. I'm a straightish, white, cisgendered man that, makes plenty of money. So a lot of those people that are going to be harmed by the Trump presidency are not. And those that take the chance givers is those the same socioeconomic peers as me. So, I mean, the people that are like, oh, well, let's just give them a chance. No, I'm not going to give them a chance. You shouldn't either. You should merit a president based on what they're who they're coming in as and what they are. I mean, we knew when W was coming in, he got deferments from Vietnam. Okay, well, he was in the National Guard. He flew airplanes and shit, but he had like cocaine charges and stuff. We know Trump is a terrible person because, I mean, I refuse to give him the chance. And honestly, I refuse to be Mr. Nice Liberal anymore. I'm not going to do that. When they, the whole, when they go high, when they go low, we go high. No, I'm going to get down in the fucking dirt with all these people, because that's the only way that they respect you giving any kind of discourse, is getting into the fucking fracas with them. I honestly refuse the whole notion of go low, stay high kind of thing. Fuck that. The liberals and lefties of this country need to finally consider the GOP and those on the right as being wrong and saying so. I mean, we're not going to go down the same route as, grab them by the pussy or at the drop of a hat or anything like that. But when people are wrong, we need to fucking call them on it. Start a dialogue. Fight if you must, but don't let shit slide. That's giving complacency to a system that's fucking corrupt. In this upcoming year, I'm going to be doing just about all that I can to resist Trump. I'm going to stand up to the GOP stranglehold in this nation. I'm going to do my best to actually call state officials when they do dumb. I'm going to write letters. I'm going to make phone calls, and I'm actually going to join a fucking union. I'm going to be doing a ton of work via this show to get people motivated to do the same. I can't rest on my laurels anymore. I hope that if I can influence at least one person who in turn does the same thing, I mean, I don't have to change the world. I just have to change one mind. So literally, I'm going to roll my sleeves up and get to fucking work. All of you should do the same. 2017, bitches. We got a lot of work to do. Okay, so that does it for this week's episode. We're off to go do the Secret Patron Show, and this week's will be an amazing tour into the debauchery of the Jim Baker Show. We're going to get really deep into that one. So the episodes that you can currently download via our website and on YouTube are good, but keep in mind that they're like a little bit over 6 months old. So if you really want to catch some of the current stuff, all it's going to cost you is about $1 a week. Which you can contribute to us via patreon.com/Utah Outcasts. It's really worth it, guys. Thanks again to Felicia for joining me this week, but sadly, this is the part where we must say that the Utah Outcast will catch you again next week with a brand new episode. But until then, you're welcome.
Bonne nuit.
And good night, everybody.